at it. So it's pretty nasty out, not so much right now, but definitely this morning. We got probably 2-3 hours of rain, so I thought I'd show you the shop and some of the projects we're working on when it's raining outside. Welcome to the shop. It's messy as hell, but I love how on YouTube you see these shop tours, and it's like, are you guys doing no work, or did you just clean it up to show it off? But sometimes this gets cleaned. Most of the time this is roughly how it looks. So this is an air compressor. You see them a lot of times portable, sold at Lowe's and stuff. This is a much larger one. It's got 2 motors and enough volume to drive pretty much anything that you want to do in the shop, whether it's nail guns, grinders, paint, pretty much anything. So this is a table saw, and ignore all my seeds and stuff on it. It's also a table, but it's also a saw. On this side, this is pretty much the workhorse in the shop. Really, with a little bit of creativity and a table saw, you could do a whole lot. But if we look at these are just carbide cutters on the tip of the blade that are just much like the knife that we carry around in our pocket. So this is a planer, and it's probably the second step in the process of taking wood from the forest and turning into a usable board. What it is it has knives that are on the top side of this, and when we adjust our table, we can thickness a little bit of wood off the top of a board and make that edge parallel to edge that we've already started. These things are really dangerous. Pretty much everything in the shop is dangerous. These pieces of equipment do not care whether you live or die. I want to relay the story of the time I got hit in the nuts by this thing, and it fucking hurt, man. So we're planing boards off. I got me on this side feeding, and my buddy that works with me taking the boards once they're cleaned up on the outside. And for whatever reason, maybe I didn't have the feed speed up enough or whatever, one of those tooths on the cutting edge caught that board and sent it back out. So, and thankfully, it didn't hit me in my nuts exactly, but it caught the edge of my leg close enough where I felt that. And man, I dropped so quick. And the lesson is that no matter how smart, aware, athletic you are, you can't run faster than a board. When these things mess up, you're not winning. So you have to be careful the whole way when you're in the shop. Right? That's how hard I am. So this is our grinder. This is one of our grinders. This is mainly for knife sharpening. We teach a knife making class, but it's really for any sort of metal artistry project. A lot of times so there's 2 processes. There's adding processes like welding, and there's grinding process that can kind of reduce the thickness of things. But whenever you're doing an additional process like welding, you have to clean up the edges so that the connection will spark between the welder and the metal that you're working. This is a great way to do it. These things aren't cheap, but they're completely variable in the speed, and they really give us a lot of fine edge consistency when we're grinding our knife blanks, which I don't have anyone to show you. Here's one. So when we're grinding our knife edges, the variability of that machine makes it so that we can make whatever shape we want, pretty much. So when you're farming, you have to have the ability to fix your own equipment, and a welder is an essential tool in that. We break equipment all the time, and relying on the local welding and fabrication shop to fix that, to get us back up in time to plant or to harvest, is just not gonna happen. And this is a MIG welder, so all of your coil is inside, and then it comes out the tip, and that's how you form your weld. But
it works on fixing excavators, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works. So I'm not a welder. I have a welder, and when I weld something, a lot of times I'm like, oh, is this structurally stable? There's lots of tests that they do in industry to see. But if I hit it with a hammer a bunch of times and it doesn't break, that's good enough for me.
Cut to picture of Scott welding.
Yeah.